Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Roden here with some Minion Masters. I got the idea to do a super dirt cheap deck. A dirt cheap. Literally just all commons. So this is what I have at the moment. I think it looks pretty good. Some other considerations. Propeller Scrats, very nice flyer. I do already have the Dragon Wheel, but honestly having another, maybe I have too many melee minions. Like Warrior is good and all, but maybe some Propeller Scrats would be welcome. Damn it, lost my comments. And yeah, in case you didn't know you can do that, you can search for particular tags, or like you can look for Scrats or commons or legendaries or something. So yeah, you can have Propeller Scrats. Stint is pretty nice. Maybe I already have this guy. I should have the Propeller Scrats. Or maybe I should have the Propeller Scrats instead of this guy. Okay, I want the Propeller Scrats. Let me try this. The flyers are very nice, because flyers can deal with very big, scary things that can't hit air. So other considerations, Slitherbound, Shock Rock, very, very good. I already have a Daggerfall and a Fireball though, so I think I'm covered on spells. Cheese Day is okay. Sniper Scrat is pretty solid. Plasma Marines, pretty good. If you go Imperial Army, the Legionnaires are not a bad option. And you could definitely pull that off with stuff like Warrior, Lost Legionnaires. There's a couple more pretty decent cheap Imperials. Oh, also, Chain Lightning, very nice. Cannon Roller, very, very strong, actually. This thing rolls back at range of a lot of things, and it can just destroy some stuff. It has massive DPS. The problem is it can't attack air, so that's Scrat attack. Poison. Poison's good. I don't know how good these new monkeys are. I've literally never used them. So these are ranged minions with 90 health. Is that each? I think it's each. And 10 DPS. Ugh. Like, sure, they have 90 health. They're very healthy, but their DPS is kind of shit. Like, for example, these have, well, total DPS isn't much better, admittedly, but they do have Mana Surge. Crossbow dudes probably have similar DPS. Yeah, exact the same. But you get two dudes that can split, grab bridges, and they're 2 mana. So maybe the monkeys are alright, but I like what I have so far. Also, Bronze Buzzers, pretty good. Javelin throwers, or spear throwers, another good consideration. I think this monkey is actually pretty good too, and probably so is this one. Yeah, more Scrats is okay, but I think I like the cheaper ones better. Also, Flightless Dragons are a very good option. Divine Warrior, pretty good option. And just because I'm not saying something is a good option doesn't mean it's bad. I just think these are the best options. Legionnaires would be another option if you want to go for the Empyrean stack. And I do have a cleaver, so... Oh, Morgo's Rangers are actually common, you say. I wasn't aware of that. This is Voidborn. I don't have my Succubus, which makes me sad. So I don't know if I really want to go for the Rangers. And if you want to go even more aggressive, you can get a Scrat Launcher. You can either replace the Defensive Chopper or Cleaver with this, with the Scrat Launcher. I would probably replace the Cleaver with it in this particular setup, just because the Chopper is our only minion-based source of AoE. Beam of Doom is a consideration, of course. You could even go Blue Golem, it's not terrible. And maybe this guy too, I'm not too familiar with him. 600 health for 7 mana, that's not actually too much different from the Golem. Yeah, the Golem has 800. He does sometimes heal himself though. Wolf Among Sheep is actually not bad. This is another pretty valid choice. You could easily replace Cleaver for that. I'm a fan of Cleaver. If you wanted to cheat a little bit, quote unquote cheat, and use some rares, there are some extremely good ones. You could do Illusory Cleaver, Real Cleaver. That's a pretty nice setup. Mana Puff is one of my favorite bridge grabbers currently. Crystal Arcanus is a staple in my decks, partly because I have really high glory on her, and partly just because she's really good. An Assassin is awesome. This is okay, but I would just run the 2 mana version. This is okay, I would mostly just run it because I have so much glory. Shielded crossbow dudes is viable. It's viable. Stun lancers are good. Oh, excuse me, I just had like a... something weird happened with my face. Anyway, Fire Imp is a very good option. I would love to add either a Fire Imp or a Annihilator or maybe even a Worthy Scrat. But I'm gonna keep it to commons only. Prowler is also very solid. Scrat Tank, awesome unit. Some very good units. You can basically decide between like Defensive Chopper or Scrat Tank. If you need AoE, Defensive Chopper is amazing at killing Scrats of every variety. He's also an awesome answer to something like a Dragon Whelp and just general, anything that hits him with melee, he's probably okay as long as he doesn't get like one shot. Cleaver actually does pretty well against the Chopper just because Cleaver 2-shots him. So there's that consideration. And the Scrat Tank is a better option if you just want to focus more on your own push. Like if you want to have a stronger push and not so much counter the enemy's hordes, or maybe you have a Scrat Tank with an Annihilator, that would be probably a stronger push than something like a Defensive Chopper with some Crystal Archers. Obviously that's a more expensive push, but it would definitely be stronger. And these are hot garbage. Hot garbage. Avoid like the plague. If you want to use them, I would advise you to just use this instead. Much cheaper. Does about the same. It does about the same. And you can also use a, what's that rally spell? I think it's a 3 cost. No, that's the other one that you would include with them. I may not have it. There's a spell that turns your buildings into warriors. This, Call to Arms. The art got changed apparently. Summon a warrior for each oh, okay. I think this used to be a 3 cost and it only replaced your building, so I guess it got, I would say that's a buff because for 1 more mana you get a 4 mana or 3 mana warrior at your tower also. So yeah, that's a strategy you can do with the wall, and I promise you that will be better than those shitty golems. So yeah, let's go with this. I would like to use that too, but we're going absolutely dirt cheap. We're going with my boy, the Lightbringer. I'm in silver, so this is kind of unfair. I haven't played much solos, but I just want to play some matches, and unfortunately, I mean, I could do it in team battle, but I mean, I guess I'll do a team battle after this. It's not like I'm particularly worried about going into team battle or anything at the higher rank. I'm pretty confident I could, anybody who plays well can get to Masters with a deck like this. It's just a matter of playing it properly. Like my own concern is that since I'm in a low rank, this is kind of a moot point. So my opponent is playing pretty good bridge grabs. Unfortunately, my own bridge grabs are kind of poop. Hopefully my scrats, yes, okay, got the bridge. I think I'll Cleaver here, or maybe a Fireball. I like Cleaver. It's a little bit dangerous to play the Cleaver when my opponent hadn't played anything, but thankfully my opponent was a little bit silly. I will just do this. Can you play something else? Ah, that's not gonna hit. I should have killed this a little bit faster. And here we'll make use of our Dragon Whelp to kill his flying dude. Using a Fireball to kill a couple Swarmers is most questionable. I do want to get a little bit of a push here, so I'm going to save some mana. Wait to see what my opponent is doing. He is doing crossbow dudes. I can kill those crossbow dudes with a spell. Just kidding. He used a thingamabob. I'll do some crossbow dudes of my own. I have to worry that this thing is going to spawn right behind me. He does have his thingamabob going. Very nice. I'll wait for them to get a little bit closer, and actually I'll just throw a cleaver out here. And I will answer his mana puff with some scrats. Oh, that's a very good answer to my scrats. Very, very good. Give the cleaver some backup. That's unfortunate. Try to get one of them to go up top. There we go, we got it. Ah, the shields. Really good shields. Alright, so we're in silver rank, but this guy is good. This guy is good. Also, like, rank doesn't necessarily mean too much. I was a Grandmaster player not too long ago, but rank reset is a thing. I should have tried to play that on the lag, the freaking lag, man. Lag. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. They split, killed the puff, and went for the other dude. I'm taking some damage to the face, but I'm not overly concerned. I do want to get some melee minion going here. That's a pretty good fireball. That would have been a good fireball if it actually hit anything. We've all been there, dude. I feel you. That's a pretty good stun. I should have. Cleaver. Cleaver to the face is generally a good option. Cleaver would have been a very good option up here. Kill the mana puff. That was a pretty good distraction from this dude. I don't have a flyer. I can just play a warrior and some crossbow dudes. Obviously, playing melee minion with range minion support is quite nice. Do that to not do a damn thing because he got spirit. The spirit guy is a annoyance for sure. Honestly, I should know if my fireball would be enough to kill these guys, but I don't know. So I'll just wait for his range guys to get to my tower and then do this. This is a pretty good fireball bait. I'll just do this and then throw out some range units to back them up. At this point, I could start thinking about just fireballing his face. That is definitely anything which could happen. Get some more push going. Ideally, you want to try to fireball along with an enemy with a minion kill. GG, man. Yeah, that guy was pretty good. So yeah, rank is, doesn't mean too much. I was GM once upon a time when I was actually playing this game actively, and I stopped playing for several months. So hey, I'm back in silver. Good luck if you're actually a silver player. But if you just got the game and you're running up against someone who used to be in GM but just they haven't played for a couple months, they probably still know how to play the game. It's just, it's a consequence of rank systems. That's just how it works, unfortunately. I wouldn't mind if, well, the thing is, rank reset is because of rank rewards, so incentivize giving people another milestone to climb towards. So now I have to get back to GM. Honestly, I have very little drive to do so, but anyway, just blabbering about nonsense now. I'll grab the bridges with this. If he answers with something, I'll throw out the crossbow dudes. If not, I don't mind reacting. He played an assassin there. Oh, whelp, actually. That's very, very irritating. Okay, I'll do this and this. If I missed the shadow whelp, I would look like an idiot, but I hit. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'll throw out a cleaver here. He might think it's an illusion. It's not. Ah, that's the AoE one. That's unfortunate. I don't have a particularly good answer for that, I have to say. I kind of need to just outrange it. Shoot it. Nice. Okay. All right. I'll do this, and I want to grab those bridges. That's not going to do too much. Hopefully one of them, yes. Okay, good. It's annoying they sometimes aggro where you don't want them to. I'll answer his dude with a flying scrat and grab the bridge back. Bridge control is exceedingly important. I'll support my tank with some dudes and be ready for a spell. That's unfortunately not something that my spell won't answer. That is a very annoying, very big creature. This is something a dragon whelp will handle, and I need to do this to protect my dragon whelp. Unfortunately, he's actually Stormbringer, so he can kill my whelp. That's really irritating. I'll do this. That shield is very annoying. Thankfully, he did aggro onto my tower. Oof. Unfortunately, he's going the wrong way. I'll give the ranged minions... Ah, I heard that. Whoop. Yep. You can try to have a spell ready for that, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. Hopefully he aggroes here. I can't tell if he did or not. No idea, honestly. Could have fireballed there. Probably worth it. Nope, he's on my face. That's fine. I don't mind him on my face. That was probably an unnecessary fireball. Would have been better to fireball something like this. That whelp did a lot of damage. I probably underestimated it. This guy's pretty good too. Honestly, fighting some pretty good silver players here. Not necessarily saying that silver players are bad, it's just, that's a questionable fireball. Oh, it's a dragon whelp fireball, okay. That's a lot more sense. I'll do this. And utterly wasted. I anticipated some sort of reply. I was also trying to finish the whelp, but he died before my fireball got to it. This guy likes his big critters. I don't blame him. Big critters are nice. This is a pretty nice big critter too. The divine shield is definitely an irritating mechanic. I'll just do a small push down here. I actually want to do it that way. I get some crossbow dudes down here. Get even more flying annoying crap. Oh, played right into that. My bad. All right, I need to get some damage on this guy. Thankfully, that's exactly what we did. No, 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 no. Die, die, die. Ah. Okay, the divine shield is going to be a further thorn in my side. So we're going to do this and this. Okay, that did work as intended. Try not to fat finger your cards and play the wrong damn thing. That was unnecessary. This is also unnecessary, but at this point I want to push for some damage. I want to throw in a warrior and some crossbow dudes. The fireball will kill my push. It's annoying. But I do have Stormbringer shooting him in the face. So now a fireball wins and I just have to go looking for that fireball or just let my push kill it. GG, man. Another really good opponent. So silver matches are tough. And might as well jump into team, which is, I just play more team, so that's my higher rank. Platinum isn't exactly the highest rank, but whatever. Let's see what happens. I typically like to have a little bit more of, like, at least one pretty big threat in team. Cleaver can fulfill that role, but I would prefer something like a Harbinger if you have them. Again, this is not to say that higher rhetoric cards are bad or anything. It's just to say that you can make a working deck with just dirt cheap comments. I should be grabbing my bridges here. I'll play the bigger archer. I'll do this too. Unfortunately, that's not going to do too much. Hopefully, yes. Okay, we're good. I will do this. That's a 3 mana play. I'll answer it with my... Oh, unfortunately, my ally just used a 6 mana spell to answer that. It's interesting. Okay, I want that Colossus to come a little bit closer to me, and then I can swarm him with flyers and probably just get fireballed. He has a healer, so I have to fireball it myself. But that should be quite doable. Okay, play your Borrow. Are you just going to float mana infinitely? You're floating mana, my friend. Why are you... Sometimes your allies are your enemies. A little bit unfortunate, but 'tis true. Oh, that should be out of range. And yeah, he had no reason to float like 3 mana, just staring at the Titan. I don't know why he was like waiting for me to play my Propeller Scrats or something. I don't understand, honestly, but make do, you gotta work for it. Baru and Cleaver are 2 very good buddies. They work very nicely together. I'll just dump this down to flatten that. The master took care of it, but whatever. Unfortunately, his Baru is distracted by... Oh, okay, he's got it. Oh, he doesn't got it. Unfortunately, he did get one more shot off, but whatever. I was waiting to see if he might play something else into the AoE zone. Would be quite nice. Yeah, that's like, spend your mana wisely. Committing 6 mana to deal with like 4 trash minions is questionable. I'll get a nice little 6 mana push going. Okay, that's fair. Trading 7 mana for 7 mana. Totally understandable. I do think we go for it. Do it. Okay. GG. Yeah, you want to try to match, or ideally you want to get better trades on your mana. Like use your 2 mana Propeller Scrats to kill a 9 mana Colossus. Really good deal. Using your 9 mana spell to kill some Scrats. I mean, okay, it wasn't a 9 mana spell, I was exaggerating. Using your 6 mana spell to kill some Scrats. Questionable. Let's try one more. So yeah, try to get good value for your mana expenditure. That's what the name of the game is all about. And don't literally mean the name, that's just, I don't know, bad turn of phrase, I guess. But yeah, and that's also what this deck is about. You're using really cheap cards, trying to just trade up on value. If you can use your 2 mana card to kill your opponent's 4 mana card, that will slowly, over time, build you an advantage. I'll use the crossbow dudes here to grab bridges. My ally has a similar idea with his bigger marines. Nice. Thankfully, our ally reacted poorly. I'll do this. Also, Cleaver is very good if you can use them to like kill an enemy creature and then run in the enemy face. I'll back him up with some. Ooh, I should have held the spell there. It's gonna take me a good hot while. Oof. So that's an example of poor timing on my part. I had the spell in hand, but I threw out some other random nonsense. I don't really have a good answer for all these shields, honestly. I'm gonna let them get to my face and then just play minions on them. That's kind of the best option I have. Our opponent did mana surge a little bit late. We're gonna take some damage here for sure, but we're also doing some damage back. Nice, I like that, Scrats. Our ally has a pretty aggressive deck. That would have been a much better fireball if I had actually held it. This should be an okay... Would have been better if I could hit that guy. Okay, Daggerfall that is. This is actually a very good lane for a whelp if I don't fat finger it. You want to pay attention to like what your enemy is doing, and if they don't have an answer for a flyer, throw a flyer at them. That's also very good use of the whirly Scrats. Again, wasn't paying attention, but that's a pretty good response, pretty good opportunity for a flyer. I'll back up his push with some archers. That was a werewolf. What? So our enemies just rallied, but they didn't have any buildings. So they played a 4 mana warrior instead of just the lag. The lag is killing me. Our ally is playing pretty well, grabbing bridges, playing things. I like it. Oh, that's ours. I will just fireball nothing, I guess. Yeah, fireball the face. You want to try to pay attention to your enemy's health. If they're in fireball lethal range, then take fireball lethal. But yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good demonstration of what the deck can do. Again, the idea of it is you're playing some really cheap minions to get value out of them. Don't just randomly throw them out in the middle of nowhere. It does help to be a reactive player and see what your enemy is doing. If your enemy plays a lonely succubus on one lane, Cleaver to the face, Cleaver will just one-shot her, and then Cleaver keeps running at the enemy, and you just killed a 5 mana minion for absolutely free. If your enemy spams out a bunch of units, maybe get a value Daggerfall if they have less than 80 HP. get, if they have more than that, you can do a fireball. If they have more than 170, well, you're gonna need some more stuff to be able to kill it. But generally, that's the name of the game. If you have some upgrades, would be the rares that I mentioned at the beginning. Also something like Bridge Buddies, Succubus is awesome, epics. I'm not gonna recommend too many legendaries. I did that at the end of one of these random Setsu videos that I did. They're not called epic for some reason. Okay, whatever, let's just look through a second. Let's just look at, well, I don't want to just show my other deck. I'll do that, but like the point is not to just show my deck. The point is to give some ideas. Battlesmancer is okay, but it's good against trash and not much else. So I would say something like Succubus. Crisper is okay, but if you don't have him, I wouldn't worry too much. It wouldn't be something it's like I'm dying to craft. Fire Imp is a perfectly good craft, 125 for a very solid AoE minion with a lot of damage. 50 DPS in AoE is a lot. Just be aware that he cannot attack air. So something like this is a very valuable target for your Flying Scrats or your Dragon Whelp. Annihilator is another good option. It's a 5 mana AoE card. That's a rare that I mentioned. Lightning Bolt is okay, or kind of good, I was trying to say. If you are running into a lot of Titans, for example, Stone Lancers are also a good answer to Titans. Just be careful where you play stuff like this. Like I've seen people playing Stone Lancers into like a Colossus attack and they just immediately die, or like into a spinning Fergus and they just immediately die before they can even attack him or stun him. So placement matters. They have pretty good range for a melee minion. Like their spears can get some work done from distance. So try to give them a little bit of breathing room so that they can attack the big scary dude first and not just get splatted immediately. Annihilator is the one that I mentioned. Awesome rare. Another, basically a better, more expensive Flame Imp. This guy has a little bit lower DPS, but higher burst damage. So like he'll kill some bigger units outright. Whereas Flame Imp has to tick small little chunks of damage, although they tick pretty fast, so it's not like Flame Imp needs enemies to like stand still for 10 minutes to be effective or anything. He has very good DPS. And also the big thing is Annihilator can hit air. Whirly Scrat is another awesome rare. I thought I wasn't going to talk about rares, but apparently I'm talking about rares anyway. Demon Warrior needs a specific deck built around him, in my opinion. You could work him into something like this. You could just like replace Cleaver, and like this is probably cheap enough to make the Demon Warrior work. And honestly, he maybe would be better than the Cleaver. But I would go with something even cheaper, something like this. Oh, cheapo. This one is more of cheap plays, not cheap cards, although most of them are common actually. There's just like 2 rare Bridge Grabbers, a purple Bridge Grabber, and then the actual purple Demon Warrior. So yeah, this is a very cheap sort of upgrade deck, quote unquote. It's the similar idea, as you might notice. A lot of the cards are either cards I used in my other deck or cards that I recommended you could use. And basically the idea is very cheap cards. As you see, the average mana cost is 2.4. The highest by far is Demon Warrior itself. So you just cycle through your deck as quickly as you can. Again, getting value for your mana. Don't just, randomly throw a Shock Rock at a 1 Scrat or something like that. Get value for your cards, but cycle your deck quickly and efficiently. And just cycle Demon Warrior, and the 5th time and beyond that you play him, he is really big. Like, really big. Sketty dude. He gets triple health, so he has 900 health, 150 DPS. That thing hurts. It's basically throwing out a even better Cleaver every couple seconds, honestly. Maybe 30 seconds that you can cycle through your deck. If you're going elves, you can go Guardian. That is good. If you're like leaning on the elves harder, you don't necessarily have to go all the way with elves. This should not be here. This was done for whatchamacallit. That was put in there for a mayhem that I was trying to do. And Succubus. Succubus would be my #1 recommendation for an early craft, just card in general. or specifically a more rare card. If you manage to get the Voidborn DLC either for free or you bought it, you have this card, and you probably even have some glory on her. Awesome card. Definitely use it. One of the best range minions in the game. And yeah, all around awesome card. I would definitely craft her if you don't have her. Dragon Whelp, Shadow Whelp is a better Dragon Whelp, and this is kind of like my elf deck. You don't necessarily have to go this hard on elves to get value out of them, but yeah, that works just fine. And my typical deck, as the name says, it's glory, so this is literally a collection of not only good cards, but cards that I have a lot of glory on. It's a significantly more expensive, actually. Not that much more. This is 3.3 versus 3.7. That does make a difference, but it's not that. This is the wrong. This is okay too, but I don't know. I think I was going for some like enraged werewolf action there. They can win games, but it's a little gimmicky. Yeah, this is like my usual, my daily driver deck. So I upgraded the Dragon Whelp into the Jalong, and that's the other thing. Like that's just not necessarily the deck you're going to be using until the end of time. It's just a deck that you can get started with, and a very strong deck that it could get you to Masters if you play it very well. But you can also just upgrade it as you go along. If you get something like a Succubus, you can throw that in. You could maybe upgrade the Cleaver into a Harbinger, or you could keep using Cleaver. This is only a change that I made literally today. I normally run Cleaver in this deck instead of this, and it does just fine. I tried it Harbinger mostly because I was playing with a friend of mine and we were trying to do some Harbinger shenanigans with like Spirit and Enrage, and both of us running Harbingers. That was fun. The other thing that I normally run is a Charger. I've been trying to test that out, and I do think he's pretty good. The My Little Pony Charger. Yep. Pretty good card. Something like Howling Moon is good, but I don't want to start recommending too many legendaries. If you have them, great. If you have something like Stixie, Howling Moon, the Charger, Herald is good. Colossus is fine, although I would... you need to be conscious that Colossus is very strong, but he is very expensive, and he is very vulnerable to certain things like lightning bolts, like the ghost. So lightning bolt, if you play a Colossus by himself, there's nothing else on your board. The enemy has a free lightning bolt. They just killed your 9 mana unit for 4. You are very sad. They could hypnotize it and you just wipe out your whole thing. You can support it with Priestess, everybody's favorite combo, Colossus and Priestess. Harbinger and Priestess is also legit, by the way. But yeah, there are obviously very good legendaries that you can add, but you can just upgrade your deck as you go along, and something like this is a good foundation. Once again, you can consult the very beginning of the video where I noted some very good cards. Basically, most of what is on the screen is a perfectly fine solution, although not Blood Imps. Blood Imps will probably get you killed if you don't know what you're doing with them, and even if you do know what you're doing with them, you might mess up and they still get you killed. They're very good with something like the Red Golem, which benefits when you get to low health. But yeah, read the card text and be aware of what they do, because if like you play Blood Imps and your opponent throws a fireball at them and overkills all of them and hits you for like 1,000 damage, you're going to be sad, and if you're playing teams, your ally is going to be mad at you, and they're not wrong. Yeah. Stint is also good. I wouldn't necessarily go for something like Heal Puff. Heal Puff is more like if you're going for some sort of gimmick and like you're very confident in your bridge control and you think that you're going to be taking unnecessary damage. I prefer more straightforward things like just get a Scrat and kill some stuff, get a Fireball and kill some stuff. Don't worry about like healing Fireball unless you're going for a specific sort of gimmick. Like, and gimmick doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Like Milloween, for example. I have Healing Fireball because it's Milloween. This is a deck that works because of Milloween again. She creates the golems, if you're not familiar with her, and she synergizes with having a bunch of spells, so I have a bunch of spells. I still have some Propeller Scrats. It's all long. You could use the Dragon Wheel, but this is not a, like, I just started the game, let me play a deck kind of deck. This one's a little bit more tricky to play, and also it has some more expensive cards. So, yeah. Anyway, I probably, what's this? Right, the Enraged Werewolf. Yeah, you could do something like this if you want something a little bit more odd, and maybe try to pull out some fun little combos, like the Tantrum Throwers into One Spin. An Enraged Werewolf is pretty scary. It will get work done. But yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. Any feedback is appreciated. And have a lovely evening.